Citizens of Rome, welcome back to Caesar 3, and Augustus has received an update. We are today checking out Augustus 3.0. It's a whole new game. Caesar 3 is new once again, and there have been some impressive updates, which are just, it's just amazing what they've done, right? There's so much cool stuff, and I'm gonna go over 8 particular points of what we're looking at today in the new version of Augustus. I just want to go over the features because you could read the manual, but I want to show it off. It's some visual explanations. Anyway, here we are in the game, and right from the start, I just want to mention there have been performance updates. Just a general point, performance updates, things run a little bit better and all of that. So that's good, right? Because oddly, Augustus was heavier on my PC than some other more modern games. So as far as I can tell, it's pretty optimized now. It's pretty smooth. And it's actually a little smoother than this. During recording, it's a little bit more stuttery than without recording. So if you load it up, you should be getting solid 60 FPS for everything. Also, in terms of performance, the sprite limit on how many walkers and buildings you can have is now, from what I read in the manual, completely gone. Completely. There is no limit for anything. I think before it was like 5 times vanilla, but now it's just completely gone. There are no limits on anything, except maybe, I guess, your PC might burn at some point, but I would like to see how far this can be pushed. Now, in terms of gameplay, I want to show off something that's actually kind of amazing, and I'm just going to show it off down here by setting up a farm. A single farm. And also let's get some people moved in, shall we? I'm just gonna clear off some space here so we can have some population to work with. Okay, have them move in. And this is just a little thing, tiny little thing, but it's actually amazing. I'm gonna put a wheat farm down here and make sure it doesn't collapse or anything, right? Obviously there's hotkeys and all of that. You know, there's the ability to zoom. We've covered all of this before, right? Here's a farm, right? Very simple, very simple. And I want to show you what actually happens. So when a farm reaches 100%, there's going to be a cart pusher with wheat in them. There they are.
There's no space for this lot anywhere in the city.
Right? So let me go ahead and put down a granary. You might be seeing some other new things as well, but it's fine. He's not gonna push it because granaries now default to not accepting. But let's say we go ahead and set this to accepting wheat. So he's gonna start traveling. Okay, interesting. Not really. Very simple, very basic. Here's something that is just kind of amazing. If I now put another granary right here and have that set to accepting, watch what the cart pusher does. Look, we'll zoom in on this. Watch what the cart pusher does. Please work. Oh no, it didn't work. Hold on. I promise you it works. I promise you it works. Look, go back home. Let me do this again. Okay. So, let me just do it. It took a bit too long to get employment. I know. It took too long. Okay. So, here we go. Let's slow the game down. I'm going to set this one to accepting. And now the cart pusher's going. Okay? Now, typically, this cart pusher is committed to going to this granary. So please work this time. I tested this before. I'm gonna set this granary to accepting now. And he turns around. You saw that? He turned around and put it in here. You see that? Do you see that? cart pushers now check where the nearest drop point is as they are moving. It's not once they spawn, they set a destination. As they are moving, they might change, right? So if I do this, you know, let's say, oh, okay, he's gonna spawn and he's gonna go there. Okay, do that. He already spawned, but I don't want him to go there. What do I do? Do I delete that? Do I wait for him to get there? Even if I deleted that, he would walk all that way. But no, now you just put the granary where you want and he will redirect to the nearest drop point. It pings every few seconds or something. Look at that. Not dropping there. That's huge. It's huge. It's actually like amazingly big. That is probably one of the most fundamental changes to Caesar 3 that could possibly have happened. Yeah, I know it's not constantly checked. It's like every few seconds. I'm not sure what the ping is. It's like occasionally they check. But as they are traveling, they're like, oh, there's a nearer granary or there's a nearer warehouse. Let's go there instead. Which just really streamlines adjusting your logistics on the fly, right? It's actually huge. So that's the second big point, right? That's the second big point. Okay, now let's talk about this UI sidebar stuff. There's some UI improvements. This one, oh, there's some crime. We'll get to that. This sidebar here has some notable important inclusions now. So the unemployment was there before from the last version. It now shows invasions, enemies distant. Very nice little constant reminder of if an invasion's coming. If you miss the pop-up or miss the notification, it's there. Gods being angry or happy, shown right there. So we can go to small temple or let's just keep the gods relatively happy here. And then we'll see these 5 thunderbolts change to at least 0, and maybe we get some 5 suns as well, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. We have the ratings that was there before, and requests are down here as well. So requests, when you get a resource request, it'll show right there. You can just click on it. You can also, there'll also be a stockpile button for that resource. So you don't have to go into your resource manager to set a resource to stockpile when there's a request, right? It's, you know, there's that. Yeah, you can just hear people dying. Don't worry, don't mind them. Now, in terms of the UI, Trade Advisor also looks very different, doesn't it? So this is just completely changed. You can now, for example, in wine, import and export. We don't have the trade route right now, but if I just, let me just go ahead and open these trade routes. Open that. And open that. So on this particular map, we can import wine. We can export wine, import wine and export wine, right? So before you could not import and export. It was just one setting, import or export, right? Which made it very weird on these maps where you could export wine up until you get palaces and villas where you're using wine. And it's like, okay, we can't really export the wine. Well, once you need 2 types of wine, I mean, we have to set it to import wine because we need the 2 types of wine, which means we have to kill our entire wine export. Even though we could export wine, we are producing enough wine, but we can't export it. So now, not fish, we can import and export at the same time. It makes sense. It's not making the game easier. I mean, it kind of is, but in a way that should have been there in the first place, right? Should have been there in the first place. Importing max is also a new thing, isn't it? Importing max? Because usually I'll be like, oh, I just want as much as possible. I put it at 30 something, you know. Importing max, that's new. Look at that. That's cool, right? Fish is not meat. Fish is not called meat. It's called fish. A whole new game. It's entirely new. Fish is called fish. Fish are called fish. Speaking of docks, let's get one down. Let's throw a dock down here. Just as a side note, roadblocks now have a slightly more popped up graphic than before, so it stands out a bit more. But we have a working dock now. That looks different. It's got locations. This idea is how they implemented it in Zeus and Emperor, where trade ports were specific to locations. This is a bit more flexible because you just have, for example, tinges. Accepting or not accepting. We could open the other trade route. Right? And we should see Carthago and Tinges. So you can have dedicated docks for locations, not for resources like it was before. Because the resources before, bit nice, but it's confusing. Right? Because, you know, you want, like, the ships are by location, not by resource. So it makes sense that the docks are now by location, not by resource, right? Warehouses don't have this problem because land trade routes they just walk wherever they want. They just walk to that warehouse, it's fine, right? But also, resource stuff does still work. Yes, they're reminding me in the chat now. The resource stuff does also still work. So, for example, if there are 2 trade routes with the same resource, which I don't know if that case exists here. Fruit, marble, okay, furniture. I don't think that case exists here. But, for example, let's say these 2 trade routes. You could have one, Carthago, just for oil, right? And then another dock would be Tinges, just for oil, right? So you could separate the resource based on location as well, right? So if you want all the Carthago oil to go there and all the Tinges oil to go there, you can do it. You can set it up like that, right? So these dock orders, huge. It also stops the issue of, you know, the ships showing up and then they get to the dock and then they're waiting because there's another ship on the way, and for some reason the one that spawned first is second in the queue because the one that spawned later got put to the front of the queue. It's weird. I don't know why that happens. It happens in Pharaoh as well. It's annoying because the ship's right there, do the trade, but no, he's waiting for the guy that just spawned miles away. So that's not great. Not great. Anyway, there's new monuments as well. There's new monuments. Now, I should probably load into a game where we actually have some monuments going. What maps do I have that are built up? What I'm doing on this map? Oh, not this one. Some of these old saves do crash in locations. Okay. Oh, that just crashed. Some old saves do crash. So, hold on. Be right back. Alright, we're back. We're back. We've just set up a little bit of a block here to get this map started. I just realized I did build enough temples. Okay, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, so we've got a little block here just to get people moving in. Let us go ahead and prioritize water services to stabilize that, and prefectures and engineers posts. We're going to build a little bit of a city today to show off some new things. Also, typically at the start of a map, you go into taxes and drop it to 0%. And you also want to drop your salary as well. But you don't have to do that anymore because houses that do not have taxes, houses that are not visited by a tax collector are considered to have 0% tax. So that helps. Also, apparently you can rotate temples with the rotate key. Hold on. If you select an individual temple, oh, you can go through the temples with the rotate key. I see. I see. You can cycle. I did notice that as well with, for example, the trees. You can now use the rotate key to swap. to whatever you want. That's a nice little hotkey thing. Right? That's handy. That's handy. Good, good, good. Ooh. Interesting. You know what would be cool? Is if you could rotate backwards if you, for example, held shift rotate. Just an idea. If you shift rotate, have it go back the other way. That might actually be interesting. Because then you could easily swap between two different types of trees. Okay, people moving in. I just want to set up a wine industry to get us some money and also start importing some marble. So let's go farms, vines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have this road go down. Make sure nothing happens there. Actually, we don't need a roadblock there. We just need workshops, wine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's gonna bring us the wine we need. Just need to make sure we have enough people. Employment's fine. Yeah, employment's actually fine. Right, we did need... Can I get this? Ooh, if the fountain's there, that kind of works. Good. Now, while we're starting to make some money here, I should make Tingis is accepting with all of these resources. Good. Let us make sure we are set to exporting wine and importing max marble. The max is such a nice option, isn't it? We'll get some marble in. We can only import like 5 or 15 a year, so it's fine. Ooh, before I forget, I should throw down a doctor's. Okay, good. Employment's still fine. Gods, you can see, without going to the menu or anything, the advisors, 4 are happy. 500 people. Good. Okay. Now, while we're waiting for money to come in, I'm going to talk about the new sentiment and crime system. If I right-click on a house, it says here, residents are pleased with you. Residents would appreciate more entertainment. Now, this is quite a complicated change. Sentiment and crime. Crime now works a little bit like in Pharaoh, where when there is high crime, it actually sends out a walker that goes to steal something or goes to burn something, depending on how upset they are. So it's not just a protester on the street, a prefect comes along and stabs them. No. When they get upset, and it's on a per house basis, not a city sentiment, each house has its own happiness rating, which I think shows in something. This is a very law-abiding neighborhood with no crimes reported at all. It's in one of these filters, I think. It sends out a walker and they can steal money from a forum, I think. Or they could target resources in a granary or warehouse. And I think they can go burn something, right? And prefects chase them. And prefects move a little bit faster when chasing them, so they actually have a chance to catch up and get it. New sentiment overlay. It is somewhere in one of these tavern. That's a new one. Commerce sentiment. There we go. Residents are indifferent to you. There we go. New sentiment overlay. Right? So that's something that's going on now. And the sentiment depends on a bunch of things. Because this update was sort of named the culture update, because the culture system's been changed and stuff. And you can see here, residents are upset about the lack of jobs, but also they were asking for entertainment earlier. So providing entertainment isn't just for culture rating, it also makes people happier. So we can go ahead and give these people some entertainment, and it actually makes them happier. But also, if houses are below the average housing level in the city, they also get a little bit more upset. Particularly small casa and under. So basically, the sentiment and crime has made it much harder to just increase wages by 8 and put your taxes to like 18 or something. It's actually now very hard to put taxes above 12%. These people aren't being taxed, so they're considered 0%. We don't have to do anything there. But yeah. So entertainment's starting to come in here. Right, they're still upset about the lack of jobs. More people are moving in. I guess we can actually support more wine workshops. So let's go ahead and just put those down now. Right? That should help keep people happier. So that's the new sentiment and crime system. But also, desirability plays a huge part. See this theater here? Let's go ahead and do something. Let's go and do something. And let's go to statues. Equestrian statue. That's a new one. Oh, this looks like Caesar 4. And it rotates. Wow, look at that. Okay, I'm broke. That's fine. Look at that new statue. That's new. So that's good. But also, increasing desirability makes people happier, right? Residents are pleased with you. They're upset about lack of jobs, but they're pleased with us now, right? If we go to the sentiment tab, we'll see these guys. I think the darker color, the better. These guys are now pleased. See, these guys along here are pleased because desirability is higher. So higher desirability means people like you more. See, it's actually getting darker because of those statues, right? Morboda, thank you so much for the 300 bits. That's very kind of you. For those watching on YouTube, twitch.tv/gamerzak. Catch all of this live. So, okay, not just that. From the sentiment and crime system, let's talk about the new culture system. There's upgrades and games and new things. So just as a note here, let me put down a library. That's different. That looks different. Oh. What happened to the library? Interesting. Interesting. Well, we did import the marble. We're exporting that. Now, one-story library. Culture buildings, just in general, have upgraded versions. Oh. That's annoying. Upgraded versions. Upgraded versions, which we can get. I think I might just cheat for some money here. What's the cheat for money? I actually can't remember. C, is it? It is C. Yeah, okay. Just give me the money. Good. We're showing off stuff, okay? So, desirability, right? If I'm understanding correctly. Desirability is a way to evolve things. If I go to statues, what's Legionary Statue? Oh, that's new. Right? And I'm not exactly sure how much desirability. It seems like a significant amount. Statues. Let me just do a large statue right here. Let's clear off some space here. Don't they riot if you cheat? No, they do not. How much desirability does it need? As much for a large insula. Because we seem to be putting quite a lot of desirability already. The tents are probably preventing it. That could be the case, yes. The tents might be holding it back. Tents are... Oh, did you guys make tents even worse? Did you guys make tents even worse? Wait, did commerce, food stocks, commerce, desirability. There we go. Well, it's blue. It's blue. Oh, wait, there it is. The library. It got taller. And now, the pop-up here, it says, this library is operational. Local developments allowed your citizens to expand the building to a greater size, providing additional racks of scrolls for more people to read. So, upgrading these things aren't just visual. If I go to here, you can see one library caters to 1,500 people. If I pull this back down, how quickly does it take effect? It seems to last quite a long time, and it shrank back down. 800 people. Oh, it changes status when spawning walkers. Ah, okay, that makes sense, right? Because the walker is tied to the stuff. So using desirability to evolve buildings, right, helps. Theaters can do the same thing. And I think pretty much almost like a whole bunch of the... Let's just... How much do we need here to get this evolved? Let's get some plazas down in this corner as well. That should be enough, right? Where's the theater walker? It changes when it spawns a walker, right? There we go. Look at this. Look at this new theater. This theater is operational. Local developments allowed your citizens to expand the building to a greater size, providing seating for more people to watch the shows. Right? And we can see in the entertainment, one theater is catering to 1,000 people. That's huge. 1,000 people, right? But see how much desirability I have to put there to get it to evolve, right? If I pull this down and let it drop back down, we can see 500 people. Basically, using desirability to evolve culture buildings doubles their capacity, right? Doubles their capacity. Now, besides that, a few things have changed. Yes, there are games. We'll get to that in a bit. But notably, games have changed because the Colosseum is not quite the same as before. Where's my Colosseum? It's a monument. The Colosseum is a monument. But wait, won't that ruin the balance of the game? You like the whole, like, how do you get things to evolve without the Colosseum? Where's the third type of entertainment from? Well, don't you worry. There's not just a third type of entertainment. There's arenas. There's arenas. So this is far more historically accurate because arenas were everywhere in ancient Rome. The Colosseum is a monument that not every city has. Every city tended to have arenas, but not that. But also, there's taverns for another type of entertainment, which consumes wine or meat, in this case, on this map, fish, which is called fish. So wine and the type of meat, which can have special orders as well. And this has its own walker as well to do things, right? To get the wine and stuff. And since we have wine, will we see, how does this work? How does wine go from the warehouse to the tavern? I've not actually tested this. But these are two new types of entertainment. And remember, the new entertainment is what is tied to people's sentiment and happiness. Residents are extremely pleased with you, right? They'd appreciate a more varied diet, right? A more varied diet. Giving houses that don't need it more types of food means they get happier. They get happier. She's a reskinned bathhouse girl? Oh, is she? How does it work? Because we have wine. Oh, it needs to be accepting market ladies, right? There we go. There she is.
People haven't eaten for so long that their ribs are all showing at the bathhouse.
she is the bathhouse girl. Tavern supplier collecting wine. So there was a concern, which was addressed in the manual, that with a new a new building that requires a resource, is it going to take pressure on the cart pushers and stuff? No, there's a whole new walker designed to getting wine and meat for the tavern, which provides a whole new type of entertainment, keeping people happier, right? So now we're providing so much entertainment. Let's throw down a gladiator school as well, just to get that going. Because gladiator and animal combat, so let's throw down the lion house. Yeah. Need a few more people, I think. Let's bring them in. So with the arena, we can supply lion house, well, lions, I guess, and gladiators, right? So this arena takes the place of the Colosseum from before, and the Colosseum is now a big monument, right? So these people should now, not visited by a taxman, not paying tax, residents love you, residents would appreciate a more varied diet, right? They love me because they have so much entertainment, right? Several entertainment venues. Let's see, the tavern lady, the lion houses. Yep. Right, so much entertainment. Okay, yes. And you can see in this list here, taverns and arenas are added to this list. The Hippodrome is also a monument, by the way. Right, if we want to put down the Hippodrome, it's a monument. Right, you can't just have a Hippodrome from nothing. Money, please. Okay, we're just showing features. Just showing features. So that's pretty good. Right? This whole new culture system. Right? And this all helps increase the culture rating. So the need for culture dumps is far less, because instead of trying to dump like 10 theaters, it actually makes nicer sense anyway to use desirability to upgrade your existing buildings, right? To upgrade the theater, to upgrade the library, right, into new things. Like even the school has an upgraded version, which I'm not sure if I can get it with enough desirability here. Let's throw down an oracle. Oh, oracles are monuments now as well. They need 2 marble. Okay. Since we're going into that, let me just go ahead and throw down some equestrian statues here to maybe get that evolved. There we go. Look at that. Upgraded school. Expanded into a greater size, providing more space for more children to study at the same time. Upgraded school. Look at these new graphics and everything. New assets. Everything's a monument all of a sudden. Yes, and I actually love that change where everything's a monument all of a sudden. There are mini monuments and micro monuments. Oh, a request has come in. How do we keep track of the request? Look at that. Stockpile. Stop stockpiling. It's just there. It's just there. Look at that. But yeah, I really love the whole fundamental change of the mini monument. Because this is actually an idea that's not in any of the Impressions games. It's actually a sort of new idea that I think is one of the first new ideas that's actually just a really good addition. It's not just something that Pharaoh has. It's not just something that Emperor has, right? Like, for example, the docks being tied to places, the locations. You know, Zeus and Emperor has that. The mini monument turns this into a truly ancient Rome building thing. Oh, I forgot about the invasion. It says invasion underway right there. Let's look at the new options menu and go to difficulty and just drop it to like very easy. Okay, look at this new options menu. Alt X is kill all. Okay, good. Look, I showed off the new options menu. In game, you can enable all of this. Okay, good. Do you just kill all? Does that work? Oh, that just works, huh? Killed all walkers. That's how that works? Interesting. Okay, cool. We're showing off the features, okay? We don't have time for an invasion. Are they still coming? No, I think they're gone. Enemies distant. Look at that. It works fine. The mini monument. The mini monument turns this into a truly sort of the sense of this is an ancient civilization that kept building these fantastical monuments. And now if I go ahead and put down, for example, the... Oh, you renamed the Engineers Guild to Architects Guild. Thank you. Because I kept clicking on the wrong thing. I need an engineer's post. Oh, that's not right. Let's put down one of those. And put down a work camp. So that we can start getting things building. And before, when the monuments were first introduced, it was sort of like, okay, we're gonna put these down, build our 2 grand temples and maybe a lighthouse, and then, okay, fine, we can now delete these things. We don't need these anymore. We don't need them anymore, right? Well, now, you get the sense that you kind of just want to have this monument construction set up permanently, right? You want to have it all the time, because everything is like a mini monument. We need to bring over the 2 marble to this oracle to build the oracle, but wait, there's more. There's so many little monument things that just change all sorts of things. So first, let's get this oracle built, right? You don't just plop it down anymore. You need to get the oracle built, right? So the construction person should be coming along somewhere here. Is that them? There. So once they drop off the resources, the architect has to come over and construct the thing. Right? We've seen the big temples. We've seen the grand temples, right, from last version, but there's more. There's more. Look, we've got an oracle now. It costs 4 denarii a month to maintain this thing, right? But you know, it costs the same, 2 marble, but it has this monument construction. But now let's look at the other things. Small mausoleum. Right? Because it's ancient Rome. Let's go ahead and build a small mausoleum. It takes 2 marble. It is an oracle with negative desirability, but doesn't need fire and firehouse and engineers post protection. It doesn't burn down, it doesn't collapse. And it has negative desirability near it, but better desirability in a ring further away. So directly around it, it's got negative desirability, but a ring around it, as far as I understand, is good desirability. Because no one wants to live next to the mausoleum, but the city wants to have a mausoleum. Right? So there we go. The final resting place of many past generations of your city's proud families and the envy of many amongst the living. And there is also the larger mausoleum. I think it's a 3x3 large mausoleum. It looks good. What does this cost? Just, okay, this costs 4 marble. Let's go ahead and get a large mausoleum down. Bring the 4 marble over and get this built. And these things just it looks good. Oh look, they actually pause in their tracks if there's no space.
There's no space for this lot anywhere in the city.
That's so weird to see, but actually it makes more sense, because then if I put a warehouse here to store wine, they just go there. It's such a new, interesting behavior. And look at this. Look at this large mausoleum. I think it does... Yeah, directly around it, it's bad desirability. But then further away, it provides good desirability. I'm not sure of the exact measurement distance, but that's how it works. Directly around, bad. I think beyond this, right, it would have better, because this is affecting negatively, so it should be, I'm unsure exactly how far, but that's how that works. But it's just nice to have more stuff. They also act as oracles to keep the gods happy, right? Keep the gods happy. Also, there's 4 sons here. What does that actually mean? 4 gods have sons, right? So that's down. What else do we have? There's this Nymphaeum, which I actually don't know what it is. Let's put it down and see what it is. It also takes 4 marble. So this, Large Mausoleum. The polished marble walls and gleaming statues of this magnificent structure reflect the great deeds of the most distinguished patricians who earned the privilege of resting here. Who does the copywriting? It's actually really good copywriting. It's always very impressive, the writing you guys have done. Right? So here comes this next thing, which I actually don't know what this building does. I don't know what a Nymphaeum does. Also, what's a Larium? Oh, right, Larium. Larium is a 1-tile oracle. Small shrine. It's a shrine version of an oracle. This small shrine is dedicated to the ancestral spirits of the Roman people. Small sacrifices and prayers may be made here. Right? It's a shrine version of an oracle. It's free, but I think the manual said it only caters to 20 people, so it's very small. So here's the Nymphaeum. This great temple is dedicated to the water nymphs, minor deities of spring, rivers, and seas. It promises beauty and plenty to the surrounding land and the favor of the divine city. I think it's another kind of oracle. Free, it costs 150 denarii. Yeah, okay, money cost is a little high, but yeah. For reference, 150 denarii is quite high. A theater is 50. A temple is 50. So it costs 3 temples. Yeah, but it doesn't need marble. So there's that. What else do we have? The grand temples are as before, I think. So if I wanted to build the Colosseum, does it just require... Does it require any resources? Or the Hippodrome? Do these require any resources? It seems like no. But let's find out. Oh, that requires 12 marble. This requires 32 marble. Yes, they do require resources. So 12 marble for the Colosseum, 32 marble for the Hippodrome. Also, I just want to check balance-wise. Lighthouse. How much clay does a lighthouse cost? Did you guys rebalance that? How much clay does a lighthouse cost? Grand temples cost less resources than before. Okay, so grand temples are cheaper. Is it 20 now? Because it was like 50 before. Lighthouses cost an insane amount of clay, but they require a lot less clay now. Okay, so the cost of the monuments have been reduced, right? So yeah, you see how this now feels like a monument building civilization where you place something and you have to have the resources brought over and built. Colosseum, Hippodrome, Lighthouse, the mausoleums, and whatever this thing is, right? Even the oracles take 2 marble like before, but you need a guy to go bring the resources over, right? So having this monument construction stuff, right, just permanently active, it's like, yeah, you want it there all the time. It's like, okay, we want another oracle. So I'm gonna have to pop down an oracle there and wait for the guys to bring the resources over, right? How many Colosseums per map? It's limited to 1. You cannot put another one. You can only have 1 building of this type. If you want more of those things, you build arenas. Alright, there's amphitheaters as well. So I never put down an amphitheater. So there's so many different types of entertainment. So rather than spamming 20 theaters, you upgrade, right? With desirability. It's cool, right? It's nice. Right? So just waiting on... We need a few more people to move in, I think. Let's... Can I fit any more houses around here? Let's just get a few more people in. Right, there we go. So that oracle's being built, which is nice. This has received... Oh, it's currently building. It's got 4 phases for the Colosseum. So that's going to take a while. I don't want this lighthouse. Let's get rid of that. This Hippodrome, I'm going to halt control... Oh, I don't need to get rid of it. I can just halt construction, right? Focus on building this Colosseum. I think we could speed it up if I... Oh, no. Oh, that does burn down. Interesting. Okay, no problem. Let's just have another Architects Guild right here to speed things along. Okay, good. Do we have enough? Will we need more resources for the Colosseum? I don't know exactly what we're gonna need. But I can preemptively throw down a timber yard and a clay pit. Go. No one's allowed here. Just accept timber and clay. Okay. Oh, look at that! First phase of the... Oh, you guys put like the wooden base and everything. Look at that. Okay, we need workers. Let me cut back on all this entertainment. So we're gonna need some stuff. Okay. Let's just bring in a few more people. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna get timber and clay in. Because we'll need some for all of this. We should actually be able to... With the houses I put down... Oh, that's a little annoying. I just do no materials, clay pit. Go... 1, 2. Yep, we don't need to worry about that quest. Okay, good. So we have 4, just to speed things up. There we go. That should get us the resources we need relatively quickly, 4 of each. We need 8 wood for this. So I think I can throw down another work camp right here to speed it along. Because walking from over that side, bit hard. And while we're waiting for that to build, they're about holding games. Part of the culture entertainment stuff. Holding naval games. The Colosseum will be flooded to reenact a great naval battle. The movement speed of your troops and their strength in distant battles will be increased for the next year. And it costs 2,000 of personal funds. Not of your city funds, of personal funds. And 3 wine and 3 timber. So this adds a whole nother use for personal funds. Right? So it's not at the beginning, oh, I don't want to, you know, not have, I don't need to have money for gifts or anything. You actually want to build up your personal funds. Right? Then there's Roman games. The Colosseum will host the Roman games with people traveling to your city from across the empire to compete. Such a grand spectacle will surely earn you the favor of both the emperor and the common people for the next year. 1,000 in personal funds, 9 wheat, 3 oil. But yeah, we don't have a venue built, right? So we can't do it yet. Or animal games. The Colosseum will host gruesome animal hunts and executions by wild beasts, delighting the plebeians classes. Crime, riots, and revolts will be suppressed for the next year. Gladiators will help defend the city from the next invasion. right? Also, speaking of crime, let's tax people and try and get them upset. Residents love me. Why do they love me? How do I get them to hate me? Right, desirability. We gotta drop desirability. Let me replace these roads. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Get rid of the plazas. A practical reason why I'm not feeding my people. I want them to hate me. I think we should be able to maintain... enough people. Yeah, just try and get some people moved in there. Okay, good. Maintain employment. They're extremely pleased with me. I can raise taxes. 14%. Plaza it down. Yeah. Okay, so we're still mainly waiting for... yeah, marble comes in, wood comes in. Okay, we're using quite a lot of timber. Alright, unemployment would help as well. How do we... they're still extremely pleased with me. How do I get them to hate me? How do I get people to hate me? Oh, they won't go down from loving to hating in a month? Oh, it takes a while. Okay. Okay, so we'll give it some time. Okay, we're waiting for the marble. We still have marble, right? Yeah, it just takes a while to get here. I could try and bring marble over here a little bit faster by setting this to getting marble. Right, that should speed it up a bit. Let's see. They're still extremely pleased with me. They'd appreciate a more varied diet as I feed them nothing. Tent dwellers supply their own food from the local countryside. Yeah. Well, they're still very pleased with me. Let's try and blast taxes up and see what they do when they get unhappy. 25% taxes. I could drop wages as well. Let's see how long. Ooh, we got to the next phase. 12 wood, 16 marble. Graceful arches rise to the heavens to hold the mighty Colosseum aloft. Wow. Nice. Look at that. We've got the base. Or, well, the basement, rather. Then the base is down. Now we gotta build the seats and the pillars and all of that. People are pleased with me. Okay. Invasion imminent. It's okay. Ooh. So, first thing. Oh. While this invasion is here, I guess I should show off just one footnote. Is this military? Let's prioritize military. This should go that way, right? If I maybe wall this off, try and encourage them to go the other way. New building. Watchtower. Archers on the battlements of this tower keep a vigilant watch for any sign of invaders while watchmen patrol the streets below. Oh, too close to enemy troops. They're like mini towers. They fire arrows and they have sentries.
We should see those wimps off easily.
Let's see how effective they are. This is on very hard. This is on very hard. Otherwise, we'll just alt-kill everyone. But this helps so much for, like, just dealing with wolves at the start without having to, like, build things. Look at that. Arrows are fired. Not ballista. Then the sentries engage. It actually worked. Wow. Can't believe that worked. These are pretty good. These are pretty good. They do burn and collapse. Okay. Oh, look at that. There's room for multiple requests. Nice. How far along is this? Oh, it needs clay. It's gone to another level. Look at that. We've got some seats now. As the Colosseum reaches skyward, its walls are clad in gleaming marble and statuary. What are those? Watchtowers. Mini towers that send out sentries. Good for small invasions. I don't think they'll do much to elephants, but good for small invasions or dealing with... Oh, plebeians are refusing to work? Residents are annoyed at you. They're refusing to work?
The governor clearly doesn't care about me, so I'm gonna show him how I care about his city.
F's in the chat. So they're starting to get a little... Labor strikes are the first level, right, of crime, right? See crime? Now that guy's moving.
The governor clearly doesn't care about me, so I'm gonna show...
Okay, stealing, theft. Okay, and they can go steal resources as well, right? Oh, then people are moving out, right? Maybe it's getting a bit too bad. All right. We don't need to wreck our whole city. Let's drop taxes. Let's raise wages again. Okay. He robbed the actual place. Yeah. As far as I remember, I played Caesar 3 for a long time. The guy walking to the forum is new, right? Right? It's not a floating sheep thing, right? Show the crime overlay. Yeah, so it shows this. See, prefects now chase criminals. They go off, you know. That is new, yes, okay. Because before, crime happened, and it just played that cinematic. It's like, what? Why? Because I think it just triggered. So when they go to the farm, I think they steal money. They can go to warehouses and granaries to steal stuff. And yeah, there is the new color. It's orange. Look at that. And they can burn things as well, right? So there's like tiers of crime. There's labor strikes, refusing to work, stealing money, stealing stuff, burning things. Right? So it builds up to like the riot event, which I've only ever happened on the Wealth Gap City. But the rioters burn stuff still, yes. Okay, so then there's rioting and burning, right? What's the other monument? This is the Hippodrome. But it's gonna take a while to get there. Oh, the Colosseum's on the 4th phase. This is the final phase. Just needs to be built, I think. There's the dude. And then once we have a Colosseum, we can hold some games. Good, yes. Oh, needs a few more. Right. It's probably sending guys... Yeah, this guy.
If I don't get some food soon, I'm leaving this city.
Right. Food. You should have thought of that before becoming peasants. There's a cheat for monument construction? Is there? Wow. Caravanserai. I should pop this down. This is also a monument. I'm gonna halt construction. This is a monument that helps trade, right? But we'll look at that in a little bit. Caravanserai, right? Like all of these things, it's just, I love that monument building culture. right? You are playing ancient Rome and you are, you know, building things. Oh, rotate key changes the color of the roadblock? Oh, you can have gray roadblocks, green roadblocks, yellow roadblocks, orange roadblocks, and blue roadblocks. Oh, and it's a little flower design now as well. Ah. Wow, this takes a lot of engineers, architects rather, to get the Colosseum done. Does this count as a road connection? It should, right? How many architects does this need? I should just remove that, because that's actually slowing it down, right? Just send them from here. That makes more sense. Right? It's so much stuff. It's so much stuff. It's so cool, right? But there's like almost everything that, like, something that needs to be constructed like a monument. The Colosseum is complete. Let the games commence. The Colosseum. It takes 100 workers. Gonna be in a bit of a problem there. 100 workers. 100 workers. Let's get some people moving in. We can also just Legionary Statue. The inaugural games for Colosseum have begun. At your command, this monument will be consecrated with the blood of the valiant. Okay, so we're getting more people moving in. It says 6 to 8 employees. It costs 32 denarii a month. So the Colosseum is functioning like the old Colosseum. Nice artwork, by the way. Sponsor great games at your Colosseum, costing personal funds and resources from your city. So we should be able to hold this. 3 wine, 3 wood. Flooded for naval games. That sounds like the craziest one. Hold the games. Water from your city's reservoirs is slowly filling the Colosseum. Carpenters begin to assemble lifelike miniature ships of war as gladiators train in waterborne combat. Soon the naval games will begin. And I think there is actually a graphic. Right? You can see gladiators and lion tamers coming down to the Colosseum, so it functions like a Colosseum. Does it send out walkers? I think it doesn't send out walkers. The Colosseum has become a man-made lake as gladiators reenact great Roman victories at sea. Blood and water mix as a crowd roars its approval. The Naumachia, the naval games, have begun. Look at that. The naval games have begun. The naval games are underway. The splash of water, creaking of timbers, and battle cries of gladiators add to the roar of the crowd. So, I think the manual said the graphic lasts for 3 months, but the bonus lasts for a year. And I think this one makes our soldiers stronger when they're abroad. And also something else, I forgot, but was it city sentiment was better? Something like that. It's cool, right? This caravanserai, 686, only 1. Okay, we'll have a look at this caravanserai as well. we actually brought in enough people. Okay, just delivering these resources. I want to show this off because it's an interesting new building. But then it needs 6 marble. Right, there it comes. The Great Games. A long cleanup process begins for the Colosseum as it is drained and made ready for normal use. Your people will be talking about this great watery spectacle for years to come. And it goes back to normal. And also, that cost 2,000 of my personal funds. So that was giving movement speed of your troops and their strength in distant battles. So movement speed of troops is hastened. I don't have any troops, but there you go. There you go. So now, I just want to see this caravanserai be built. I think it's gotten everything it needs. Yep, just needs the architects to come and build it up. There we go. Look at that. A new building. Merchant caravans take advantage of this sheltered place to rest, water, and feed their animals. Land trade disruptions last half as long. And it also unlocks trade policies. There are trade policies. Select any land trade policy for your city. You can change it at any time for a cost. This will cost 500 denarii. So there's 3 policies that we can have, right? Concilium venditor terrae. I'm trying. Landed sellers policy. Trade caravans exports earn 20% more, but land-based imports are 10% more expensive. Concilium emptor terrae. Landed buyers policy. Trade caravans imports are 20% cheaper, but land-based exports earn 10% less. Concilium quantitas terrae. Landed quantity policy. Trade caravans carry 50% more goods, but move 15% slower. That's actually a good one. And this costs 10 a month to maintain as well. Right? Trade policies are a thing. A lighthouse is required for sea policies. Right? So you can tweak these policies to what you need. For example, if you're importing more than exporting, then you want cheaper imports. If you're exporting more than importing, you want better exports. If you're doing an equal amount of both, you want them to carry more. You know, 50% more goods, but 15% slower. 50 is better than 15, right? Right? What do the other games do? Various bonuses. Earning favor with the Emperor and common people, and gladiators help defend your city from the next invasion, and revolts will be suppressed for the next year. Right? Varying benefits and bonuses. And I think that pretty much covers all the new features. Right? From the smarter cart pushers to the fundamental change of everything is a mini monument. To all the new decorations and graphics and the mausoleums, the dock controls, and the UI improvements, and the sentiment and crime system with the whole new entertainment system where there's an arena, right? And buildings that evolve, right? With particular benefits. Right, I don't know. How much do I need to... There we go. Buildings that evolve with benefits. So we have... We should be able to have 2 different types of libraries here. I think this should be enough. And wait for the walker. There we go. 2 different types of libraries. Right? It looks so different, but actually the base is exactly the same. And it's just the second story. 1 story, 2 stories. Right? The new version of Augustus. It's good. It's good. And if anyone's wondering, forced walkers do still work. So no worries about that. This will be released soon. Augustus 3.0. Once it's released, you'll be able to find it. If you want to keep up with the development of Augustus, the developers hang out on the Discord, discord.gg/Gamerzak. There's an Augustus channel there. You can ask them direct questions for technicalities or decision-making processes and stuff. They would know more than I do. I just check out and enjoy the improvements. And the playthrough that I'm currently in the middle of, I will be using this new Augustus version because it really does change things up and makes it more interesting. I like it. I like having these new features. It's cool. It's cool. It's nice. Ah, that's the wrong button. This is what I want to do. Ah, it's good. Ah, I love it. Augustus. One of the best things to happen to the Impressions games in a long time. And what I really like about this is that I'm pretty sure the developers of Pharaoh: A New Era, Triskel, would be paying attention to this as well. So Pharaoh: A New Era has to keep up with what Augustus is doing because that's some really cool ideas. So Pharaoh: A New Era does plan to change things up. Maybe not so significantly so, because it is supposed to be an official remake. But these little improvements, especially UI-wise, I would like to see some things like this in Pharaoh: A New Era. It is called A New Era. It's not supposed to be the exact same thing. So maybe they can take some ideas from this, because Augustus is really becoming its own thing. It's not just tweaks and improvements on Caesar 3 with ideas from Pharaoh, Zeus, and Emperor. It's got some new ideas, which is really cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thank you all so much for joining. If you'd like to support the channel, you can subscribe on Twitch to catch all these videos live and early. Even if you miss the live stream, the VODs are made available to subscribers on Twitch. You can also support directly on Patreon at patreon.com/Gamerzak. $1 a month from any source is far more than any ad revenue you could generate, right? So even the tiniest of help is hugely, hugely appreciated. So thank you so much. Join us on social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, links all down below. I'm at Gamerzak on everything. And that's gonna be it. Good? Good. Augustus 3.0. It's better than ever. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys. Bye.